Dude, are you good? Like, you look more lights on, nobody's home than usual. No, it's just that I feel okay, and I'm not sure if it's the benefit of the doubt or early season delusion. You know, I am feeling generous, so why not both? Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 2 of the regular season, where the Astros lose 3-1, Uno reverse card, by the way, to the New York Mets and drop the second game of the regular season. Side note, this is such a weird series because it's only 3 games, but it starts on a Thursday, and I don't like that. They dropped game 2. It's not a great look. The fact that they've only put up 4 runs of offense to this point is not great. The fact that it is now still 2 days in and they have not gotten their second RBI base hit is not a great look. The fact that Jose Altuve was almost half of the offense today on account that he walked once and I believe got a pair of hits. I was correct in how he did it. I know he reached base 3 times. I just couldn't remember what the split was. There's a lot of things that aren't great through 2 games. I would like to once again remind everyone that it is game 2 of 162, and they won the first one. Here's why this is a massive benefit of the doubt game, beside the fact that, again, it is, like, the season is barely 24 years old, which I think is also very relevant. Like, if it was a baby, it would have just gotten its first bath. You are still so early on in it, and everything that I praised about the team yesterday still pretty much rang true, especially offensively speaking. You might say, Weston, what are you talking about? They only got 1 run of offense. What rang true? They still worked counts. They still ate into pitchers. They still made really solid contact. The Astros, if I'm not mistaken, today had 60% hard contact when they were actually making contact with the ball. Now, the fact that they struck out 10 times doesn't really help you there, but, you know, there is that for you, which is a positive. The strikeout thing is not positive. They still ate into pitchers. All of the relievers that the Mets had to use hit over 15 pitches, and they were able to get to that bullpen relatively early. Granted, they got a run out of Miguel, which could have been a part of it. They also kind of lit him up offensively in terms of hard hit balls. I believe they had 7 or 8 off of him in only 5 innings. And they got him to 77 pitches through 5 innings, which is, again, a positive. 18 from Reed Garrett, 19 from A.J. Minter, 17 from Ryan Stenek, and my heart does hurt a little bit there, by the way, and 15 off of Edwin Diaz. They did good in terms of that. Again, hard hit balls. 4 different Astros had multiple hard hit balls tonight. The only one that didn't was Jake Myers, and he went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, which is not great, but you know, you deep breath and you keep moving with it. So the offense isn't a massive piece of concern for me. I think they did a lot of what I was happy with in this game. The pitching, also, I think overall, good. The bullpen was perfect. You had Steve O'Kurt, pair of strikeouts, very solid inning out of him. Did give up the 1 hard hit ball, which isn't great. Taylor Scott wasn't good, and there's no polite way to put it. Gave up 3 hard pieces of contact, a couple of hard outs, gave up a base hit. You don't love that. Brian King was able to come in 5 pitches, get out of that inning, which is a positive. And Luis Contreras, pair of strikeouts in, still a relatively close game, so in an important inning. It wasn't quite a no-leverage situation. You like to see that. 3/4 of the pen, hey, not too shabby. The Taylor Scott thing, it's fine. I believe in him. He is my hero. Anyway, the starting pitching. Hunter Brown is really where the meat of this is going to be. 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. Good. Only gave up 5 pieces of hard contact. Good. One of those pieces was a home run by Juan Soto. Not the broadcast, by the way, showing Juan Soto homering in the World Series and then immediately him homering. I didn't even mean to do that little neck twitch. I'm awake. There, that just happened involuntarily because of Juan Soto. And I hope that he realizes the trauma that he has caused me and many other Houstonians, other as if I'm from there. I'm not, just mentally speaking in terms of baseball. He gave up 3 runs, 2 of them were earned. He gave up 3 walks in only 6 innings, which isn't great. He gave up 7 base runners, which isn't great. This is not a terrible performance out of Hunter Brown, and I want to be very clear about that to begin with. Now, a part of that is the fact that only 2 of the runs were earned. So again, not bad. The 7 strikeouts is good. The walks is not. The fact that he gave up a home run is not. We are at the end of the rope with Hunter Brown. And that is a very important distinction that we make going into this season. In 2022, he just catches the back half of the regular season, Gets to pitch a couple times with Justin Verlander, who's his hero. Gets to work with him a little bit, surely. And it's this young kid. Oh my gosh, they cloned Verlander. Now, that was the worst thing that could have been said. If only he would have liked not Justin Verlander growing up. Like, if he would have been a fan of, like, Tim Panther. There is a Panthers hat over there, which is why I pulled that name out of there. Tim Hat. If he would have been a massive Tim Hat fan, who is obviously not a real person, like, loved that guy, and not Justin Verlander, he might have had a better career trajectory. Because when he was like, oh yeah, I love Verlander, and a lot of my mechanic is, based off of watching him. It sold him up this road, because immediately then the label was, oh, he's Verlander 2.0. Not looking at any underlying statistic or anything else about them. And it's partially unfair, but he was also not, like, he wasn't a Verlander level prospect, but he was talked about. He was a good pitcher in the minors. He was going to come up and be a good starting pitcher. And then you had all of 2023, and he got to work some with Verlander again towards the end of the season. He was given a little bit more responsibility. And then you had last season where he was given more responsibility, was one of the starters, and it was up and down. There were good parts. There were some really not good parts. You're at the end of it now. You are no longer a promising prospect. You are no longer a young kid. You are no longer a first-time full-season starter. You are one of the higher-end starting pitchers on the team that is trying to compete at minimum for a playoff spot, at most probably, again, the standard is the standard, a World Series title. We have got to see legitimate development out of Hunter Brown this season. And it's not a bad start to the season. I love the strikeouts. I love the swing and miss. This is the season where it's like, you've got to just put it together. And I am willing to be very patient with Hunter Brown this season in terms of if the underlying stuff is there, we're good. That's why I'm being very blunt about this first game, because there is some underlying stuff that is good, and then there is some not. But we've got to start seeing him. He's got to this season step out of the middle of the pack starting pitcher category in terms of just league-wide. He's got to start being better. And this isn't a bad game. The 7 strikeouts is beautiful. I'm really hitching my wagon to that part of it. But this is going to be an incredibly important season for Hunter Brown and his development. And it's not that bad of a start to it. Obviously, the offense still is more to blame for this game, which, again, I had my piece about that. This is a big benefit of the doubt game for the team as a whole. This is not a bad start to the season. They're doing a lot of the little things right, and the little things that law of average over 162 are going to result in a lot of wins. This is just a very lackluster performance for Game 2. So, with all of that being said, you can still win the series tomorrow night. The series deciding game on a Saturday evening at 7:15 Eastern, 6:15 Central, in which the Mets are going to send Griffin Canning to the mound, and the Astros are going to send Spencer Arrighetti to the mound. We're correcting that wrong from last season, I promise you. To all of the Italians out there, I do not apologize. Your main export is meatballs, and I will never be shameful of this. So, I will be here after that game to talk about it. As for right now, that is all I have to say. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.